This was initiated in 1994. Oh, it was actually signed by Bill Clinton in 1993. It first took action in 1994. Since then, we've had 1,200 servicemen and, oh no, it's not even 1,200, it's 12,000 servicemen and women discharged because of the don't ask, don't tell policy. The Navy and the Army are the two highest of discharge. The lowest points in discharge history for the don't ask, don't tell policy is when we're in an act of war. So right now, it's not very high because of the fact that we are in a war against terrorism. When we're not fighting someone, it's when it's the highest.
They don't need us.
Exactly.
Well, we always need you.
I just have a question though. I have a question because I'm kind of confused a little bit. So, the old policy was the don't ask, don't tell.
Yes.
The new policy is what again?
Don't harass, don't pursue.
And what is the difference?
There's no difference.
What is the difference? Because that sounds exactly the same thing to me. The new policy is the same as the old one.
There's no difference whatsoever. It's, you can be out, it's just
worded differently.
Yeah.
You can be out, it's just you're not allowed to pursue anyone, you are not allowed to show affection in the form, and no one else can harass you. And if they do, you can go to a commanding officer. They might not do anything, but you can go to a
So the only difference is that I can be known as a gay man, but I can't act on it. Exactly. So in a way, I'm still closeted. Exactly. I'm still like, okay.
If you look at that, in uniform, men and women are still supposed to do that. If we looked at a bunch of straight guys, if they're in uniform, you better stay at attention and not go, ooh, look at
there's
no, but that's not what we're talking about, though. We're not talking about like sexual relations on the service itself. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about information that's shared through the service members themselves, you know, that get used against us. For straight people in the service, they can openly talk about it. If a gay person talks about it, that information will be used against them.
Which is wrong.
Exactly. And that's where the privilege is.
Do we have any other questions?
I also want to add something real quick. Just a fact here, a new Zogby poll of more than 500 service members returning from Afghanistan and Iraq. Just so you guys know, 3/4 of whom said they were comfortable interacting with gay people. So, if that's 3/4, that's a lot, you know. And 24 foreign nations, including Israel, Britain, and other allies in the fight against terrorism, let gays serve openly with no problems with morale or recruitment. So I'm starting to think that the time to get rid of this policy is coming.
It is.
It's coming.
It's gonna get.
Yeah.
They're gonna get rid of it.
Yeah. So you know, it's the inevitable. We can basically come up to that conclusion that it is the inevitable that policy will be
eliminated.
Eliminated. I like that word. Yeah.
All these policies that you want more visuals.
So it was Israel, Britain, and was there a third one?
No, they
all
just,
allied nations, pretty much.
yeah.
Oh, okay. NATO.
Now,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know if I want to. I was trying to raise this question. The ones that do get discharged from the policy, let's say the policy is removed, but the ones that were discharged prior to that, I think that they should get some redemption for that. I think they should get like a tax redemption for that.
But then again, there's been so many servicemen and women that have been discharged that it's kind of hard to. If you just
I don't.
like
Yeah,
start
We also don't know the case-by-case files. Now, yes, probably the majority of them were discharged because they were gay.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them very well could have been done something related to gays.
I'm just sharing my opinion.
I know. And I'm just saying that probably the majority, I would agree, the vast majority probably were discharged just because they were gay. But some of the other ones probably, maybe, you never know, could have done something.
Oh yeah.
And that's why they're
It's hard to
discharged.
distinguish between them.
Exactly.
But you know, it doesn't. I know. I was just saying it out there. You know, for the ones that did get, you know, discharged for that reason, specifically because of the don't ask, don't tell policy. Just, you know.
I was just gonna say about the don't ask, don't tell policy that I think there's like a bit of confusion about it. People think of it as it's not. And I just want to say I'm not arguing for it because I think it's a very wrong thing. But it's like people are kind of confused about it. It's not saying that gay men and women can't join.
I also want to make one more point. I want to make one more point.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I said that, but you know, just to share a personal story with you guys. I took a GLPT studies class last quarter, and we were one of the gals that was in my class. She was writing her paper on the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, and her and I were talking a lot about it. And I got into this conversation with my mom, and I was like, "Mom, what do you think of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy?" And what she said to me was, "I think it's a good policy." And I'm like, "Really? Why?" And she's like, "Because it protects gays from, you know, getting beat up or harassed by." But I was like, okay, so basically, you're saying that we have this policy, and this is for anybody that says that this is a good policy for this reason. If you say that that's a good way to protect gay people, then in other words, what you're saying is that you tolerate hate crimes, gay bashing. Because what we need a policy of, what we really need a policy of, is not to keep gays in the closet, but we need a policy that does not tolerate gay bashing, gay harassment, gay discrimination, or, you know, any discrimination of any minority groups. Like, that's the kind of policy we need. So if someone says I support that policy because it protects gay people, then in other words, they're basically saying that they tolerate hate crimes and gay bashing. So I just want to make that.
I have a point. Then I'm done. I actually really like how you just said all racial and all discrimination. I actually really, really like how you said that. Instead of just saying it's just against gays, you said all. That's
Yeah,
my point. I just really like how you included everybody that's discriminated against.
Because everybody needs to be included.
Can I elaborate on that?
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to make that point too, is that, yeah, you mentioned earlier that it's a Christian privilege. It's a privilege that we're able to practice our faith and we're able to speak out
No.
about what we believe.
That's not what I said.
Is that not what you meant?
That's not what I said. That's not what I meant. What I meant was that you have the freedom. You have your own personal freedom.
Right.
The First Amendment to
Which is
practice your
privilege,
religion.
right?
No. Well, it's just an amendment. It's your equal. It's your right.
You're right.
It's your right. The privilege is when you basically can tell somebody how to live their life. When you tell someone how to live their life, or tell somebody that what they do is wrong because you refer to the Bible or something like that. And
You
others,
take it beyond just your personal.
yeah, you take it beyond your personal beliefs, and you're basically saying,